Hey everyone, happy Monday. I am getting ready to run out of the house, but I have been chatting with some people in my current nutritional makeover group, and we are trying to get over the carbs at dinner time deal, because what we have learned in our group is that carbs are very essential. They're very delicious. We do need carbs in our diet. However, when it comes to dinner time, you really don't need carbs. I know that most of us grew up like meat and potatoes at every single meal, and so you sort of grow up with that expectation that you have to have that carb at dinner time. However, if your intention is for the rest of the night to start winding down, and you don't have like softball or soccer or some sort of activity where you need energy at the end of the night, then you really don't need carbs at your dinner time. Carbs' specific purpose is to give you energy, especially when you combine them with, hey Holly, happy congratulations on your baby. Especially when you combine your carbs with something like protein, which helps keep you fuller longer. You really just don't need them at dinner time. So what I had for dinner tonight, I feel like is a perfect example, and I'll post a picture for you guys below because it was actually really, really good, and it was kind of just something I came up with on the fly. I had a piece of chicken that I cooked in the crock pot yesterday. I just very lightly seasoned it. That way it gave me plenty of options to work with today. Plus it gives me options for Sophie, who really isn't into sauces and things like that. So I had plain chicken for her. And for me, I topped it with a half of a diced tomato, a little bit of a sprinkle of mozzarella cheese, and some balsamic vinegar. Vinegar is like a freebie. It's not thick. It's not just something you can kind of use more liberally because it's not going to count as like a fat or a carb, things like that. So I drizzled it with balsamic dressing and some basil, and what do I have? Kind of like a tomato mozzarella, a caprese salad on top of my chicken, and it was so good. So that was like one half of my plate. The other half, I just used some spiral cut carrots with coconut oil and a little bit of sea salt, and I filled up my other half of my plate, and oh my god, it was so good. I feel so full, and I have to go outside in the 91-degree heat and coach softball, so looking forward to that. But I needed something quick and easy, and something that wouldn't weigh me down, but didn't have carbs, and I feel completely fine. So here are some ideas to think about swapping out some of your carbs, and I have a few things that I will show you too. So a lot of people like to have rice or beans with their dinner, and instead of that, you can do riced cauliflower, or pretty much they have been ricing every vegetable known to humanity. I've seen riced beets, riced carrots, riced butternut squash, riced broccoli. They have it all. So if cauliflower is not your jam, I feel like it definitely is in this household. We eat tons and tons and tons of this. Then find a riced vegetable if you're liking. Hey, Renee! But you can easily swap out rice for riced. Hey, Tammy! Are you using a riced vegetable? You can easily swap out for something like this. It's great because it won't go bad. You just keep it in your freezer, and on a busy night, you just whip it out, and 5 minutes, you're good to go. Instead of having tater tots, which tater tots are amazing, do not get me wrong, but you can swap those out for something like broccoli tots. So here's the deal with all of these vegetables. You really still do need to read the ingredients label to make sure that you're getting primarily vegetables. And some of these come with like cheese or sweet potato. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. However, sweet potato is still considered a carb, and if you're trying to go lower carb after dinner time, then you want to look for something with broccoli and maybe not the cheese, because that's just going to increase your fat. Hey Sarah, did you get your workout in yet? I'm looking for you, girl. So we like these broccoli tots, and especially when you do the net carbs. So net carbs is just you take your total carbs, you minus out your fiber, and that's like your net carbs. It's a really good deal here. So broccoli tots instead of tater tots, also an option. Spaghetti. I mean, how easy is spaghetti for dinner? However, if you are like me, I cannot control myself with my portion of noodles. Plus, even after I eat, I am like at the kitchen sink where the colander is, where the noodles are still sitting there, and I just keep eating them. So I have a really hard time with noodles, and we hardly ever eat pasta in this house anymore. So lucky for us, we have things from, I feel like I just love the Green Giant because they're like my go-to brand for everything. They spiral cut all of these vegetables. You could easily do this yourself. You can save money. However, I'm a busy mom and convenience is something that's important to me. So I'm willing to spend whatever it costs, a little bit more than just buying a whole bag of carrots to get, you know, a serving of the vegetable spirals. Again, this is going to come in a variety of options. So if carrots are not your jam, I love carrots. You can pretty much get zucchini. They have it non-frozen forms. This is actually something that can go in the freezer, which when you heat it up makes it perfect for spaghetti night. Or one of our go-tos is spaghetti squash, which is you can load up your plate or your bowl with a half a spaghetti squash and you are going to feel amazing. And the goal of spaghetti, listen to this, like just bear with me. The sauce, right? An amazing, really good quality, like spaghetti sauce. That's what makes your spaghetti dish. If you add ground turkey or you add maybe some turkey sausage, even better, because now you're weaving in some protein. You can sprinkle it with some cheese. That's where you want to get it. Like your noodle, like, yeah, your noodle is good, but like really, I feel like the noodle is kind of like white bread on your table at dinner time. It's kind of just a filler. And I think the star of the show is a really good spaghetti squash. So I would focus more on that. And you can load up. Bagged like salad kits are also amazing. They have like a sweet kale kit, they have spinach kits, they have romaine lettuce kits, Caesar salad kits. Easy. You just cut the top off of it and dump it onto your plate. Add your protein of choice. You can add shrimp, you can add chicken, you can add steak. Today I just cut a bag of sweet baby kale mix that I got from Aldi. Ding. And I topped it with leftover steak that I had on the grill with some pumpkin seeds and some craisins, and it was delicious. If you want a picture of it, check my story today because I definitely shared that one with you guys because it was so simple. So we have been buying tons of bags of salad mixes to keep on hand because it's summertime and like salads are just something nice to have at lunchtime or dinner. You fill your entire plate with that and just add a protein and you are GTG. One more tip before I have to run out the door because I'm looking at the clock and I need to go is onion rings. And I'm only thinking about this because I made them the other day. So we kind of like onion rings. We don't eat them often. We typically would only get them when we go out to eat. However, I found a recipe for these coconut flaked onion rings. Oh my God, they were so good. So I kind of wanted to replicate that, but I wanted to take out the breading of them. So basically I just got a sweet onion, diced it up kind of thick, sauteed it a little bit in coconut oil. And I know maybe that sounds a little bit gross to you, but bear with me. I'm telling you, it's great. So I sauteed it in coconut oil, just a little bit of sea salt. And then I took some unsweetened coconut towards the end. So once your onion is looking like it's starting to saute, you don't want it completely sauteed, but you like tender crisp. Hey, Phil, I'm coming. You put in a little bit of unsweetened shredded coconut. Oh, and that like toasts up a little bit. And you just kind of eat it up like that. I served it with the grilled steak that I had as my leftover today, and it was so good. So you guys, you have to be willing to play around with your food a little bit to find things that feel like a carb, like an onion or a tater tot or rice. And you just have to fill it with something else. It's not hard once you start doing it. I think it's more of a mental thing that we expect that we have to have this carb at dinner time. And you just need to get over that because you really don't. Like I said, if you need and you have activities and you're going to be doing stuff and you still feel like you need some energy to power you through the rest of the day, by all means, add a clean carb like a sweet potato or something like that. But if you don't and you're just going to be winding down, getting the kids to bed, sitting outside, maybe you're sipping a cold one, then skip it. There's save it for tomorrow morning, save it for the next day. So I got to go because I got to go to softball and Phil's staring at me at the door. So if anyone wants to see that, maybe I'll snap a picture of him staring at me over here with his food. Maybe that's why he wants to look at me. Have any questions, drop them below and I will chat with you guys later. See ya.